it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today I have a Cricut Explore project for you. Now we've got here a Make It Now project, but it's going to be one that we're going to customise because I thought that would be a really nice step forward before we go on to completely starting from scratch. Okay, so today I found this fun card here that says Hello Washi tape card. So I thought that was really fun, but what I didn't want was this particular hello. So I'm going to click on here. Instead of Make It Now, I'm going to click on Customize. Now I've already logged in at this point as well, so that's why it knows what cuts I own and what cuts I don't own. And I would recommend you always start by logging in before you do anything, because it makes it a lot easier to know what's what with regard to the cuts you own, etc. So here it comes, and this is the bit that you kind of see in the background when you do your Make It Now, and it comes immediately up with the cut screen. This is kind of what you'd see in the background. So what we've got is our card and obviously all our different elements, and the bit I want to change is here. So if you notice, when I clicked on that, it highlighted, let's bring that over, these two layers here. So really what I need to do is get rid of this layer here, because what it is that it's not actually letters on top of the white. What it is that white has got holes cut in it to create the letters, and then red behind it to show through the holes of the letters. So what I want to do is click ungroup in this case. So it's now ungrouped my red and my white shapes, my bubbles. So I can now click on that, and if you see, or you can do it this way, you can click on here, whichever way you want to do it, and that's now highlighted my white element. So I can grab that. Now you can see what I mean about the letters having holes. So you can see when I go over the green, you can see the greens through it, and that's the element I don't want. So I'm going to just press my backspace button, or you can click delete on here, but I just did it that way. And then I want to change this to white, because that, I mean, it doesn't really matter, because frankly none of these colours matter. It doesn't know, it's not printing them, but it just makes it easier to get a feel for the picture. So in order to change the colour, all we're going to do is we're going to click on the shape itself, not here, that doesn't do anything, but on the actual shape on that piece there, and that brings up all these different things and information. So in this case it's telling you it's a cut line, because it's saying line type is cut, so it could be write, score or print, and then it's giving you the colours. So you can use this to customize your colour completely yourself and just pick a colour, because I find it quite useful when you're creating a card on here to try and make the colours roughly what you think you might be using on the paper, just so that when you're actually cutting and it comes up with the sheet that says, you know, this is the next sheet we're going to be cutting from, you know which colour sheet to cut, you know what piece of paper to put down on the mat. It just makes that part of it easier. However, I at this point do not know what bits I want to use. I'm just going to use some scraps for these, so I'm not quite sure. So I'm just going to keep it quite neutral. So all I'm going to do for here is I almost certainly want something pretty neutral for this bubble, this speech bubble. So I'm going to click on the white here, and that's turned that white. So now I'm just going to click on the cross and get rid of that. Click on the matte page here, and that just unhighlights all of those elements. I'm going to move that over there. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to put some words back on there. So I'm going to add text, and you can see a little box comes up. So I'm going to have happy and then new line birthday or something similar anyway. Okay, so that says happy birthday. Now don't worry how that looks down here at the moment, because that's just its default setting. So we're going to adjust that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I picked up the wrong one, I want the edit box. I like to bring them over near where I'm working because I just find it easier. Okay, so here's our little edit box for our font, and you get all sorts of different things. So at the top you get all fonts, and when you click on that you have system fonts. That's your computer's fonts. So anything that's you've got as a, I don't know, it could be Times New Roman, whatever, that's your Cricut fonts. Obviously any cartridges that have Cricut cuts on. Single layer, I have to say I'm not really sure what that is. I'm assuming that's no shadows and stuff like that. And has a writing style. Now that's the one we want, because that's the one where it's going to be written. And I'm going to move it down here so I can see it better. I want to have a font written onto my little bubble up there. So I'm going to click on that so that the editing box up here comes, and then I want to centralize it. So you can see here this is where you do the editing, but this is where you see what happens. And then we want to go into the click here, and we want to see what font do I want that can be, and it will only show, in theory, it should only show the ones that can be written. So I want the soiree lettering because I really like that. Now you can see here that the letters are separate, but you can move them using the letter spacing here. This is your horizontal spacing. So that's getting it a bit closer and closer so that they're going to be touching, so it looks like they're written as one. Now let's see. I think that looks fine. It's this gap here I'm not sure about. So let's try ungroup. And then just group those three, and then just using my arrow keys, whoops, I've just moved those three across, and you can see now how that's touching, and I think that looks better. And then I'm going to do the same with my A. A little bit too much. I think if you click shift and your arrow key, it does a big jump. Okay, it's not the small ones. So it was one of them you click and it gives you a small loop, but anyway. So we're just going to group those two together, or not. Let's just do it individually. I can't bother trying to make it group. Okay, I think that looks good. And then we're going to move the H across like so. And I think that looks okay. So then we're going to go around, just drag a box around the whole lot, and then click group like so. And then I'm going to take that up to where let's move that out of the way. And we're going to take that up to there, and I'm going to use the arrow key, the corner arrow, to make that small enough just to fit in my little box. And I want to click on the letters and then use my shift button and click on my little word bubble, and I just want to make sure that it is the word bubble that's been clicked. Yes, so that it's just the letters and the word bubble clicked, and then we want to do attach. Now the reason we want to do that is because otherwise the writing, it doesn't know that you want the writing on that, even though it's showing it as that. You have to tell it. So then we click go, and as I say, that's why it's worth just checking that everything's correct before you go ahead by doing this click go. And you can see now we've got all our mats back, so we've got everything there, and now you can see the happy birthday is inside our little speech bubble. Okay, so that's all sorted. So now all we need to do is load up our mats and click go to cut. So let's get cutting. Okay, so the cutting, I did do the washi tape adhesive sheets, and I did it on the vinyl setting, lesser half. So you know between each setting, that's marked, say, as vinyl, paper, etc. There's like a half setting. So I did it as the vinyl lesser half. So that seemed to work perfectly. And then the cardstock I did on cardstock setting, and that was perfect as well. Okay, so now we're over back to the table to put this card together. Okay, so here are all our elements, and you can't really tell on these washi tape sheets that the pieces have been cut, but they are little bits cut through there, because what you're doing, it's like on vinyl, you're not cutting all the way through, so it makes it able to be peeled off like a sticker. But at the moment we don't want these pieces, we want to put our card together. So let's just put that over there, and I'm going to get my scoring tool and we're just going to fold our card in half. So all I'm going to do is just gently bend the card until it naturally finds the score line. There we go, you see it starts just to find that, and then we can start just to line up those edges to make sure that everything's just nicely square on, and then score down that spine like so. And then we've got our grey piece here, which is going to stick just on the front. So all I'm going to do is take my Cosmic Shimmer and I'm going to stick that down. So just, there we go. And then just put that on the front. And that gives us our nice layer. Then what we want is to take our pieces of washi tape and start sticking those down. So, okay, so that's a longer piece. Okay, so that's that bit. So I'm going to put that one first, and that kind of goes about, let's do it this way round, I think it might be easier. I'm creating a bit of a shadow, but hopefully you can still see. So I reckon that one goes about there. Like so. And then we want a sort of short stumpy one. And we'll put him about here. Like so, and then put that kind of here, I think, so we can, that looks nice, because what's going to happen is our happy birthday is going to go across this, of course. So this big long black piece here, like so. And then our final piece is this lovely floral, like so, and that's just going to go down about here. Let's pop it down there, and hopefully that's going to work out okay. Okay, and then I've got my piece here that was written by our Explore and then cut round as a speech bubble, which I think looks really fun, and I'm going to put that on. That's going to go kind of here, which is working just great, and I'm going to pop that up on 3D foam. And then the last thing, actually perhaps probably before I put this down, and it might be just a bit easier, but I will put the foam on the back of this ready, is I want to just put some faux stitching, because there was some real stitching on the design that was done shown on the Explore, but I don't want to particularly do that, so I'm just going to do some faux stitching with a white pen. Okay, so I actually thought I might use this sort of swirls and or straight lines and things from this stamp set that came in the latest kit from Simon Says Stamp, and it's their January kit, and it also came with this lovely white pigment ink. so I thought that would look really cool around the edges. So I'm just gonna take the straight line first, I think, because I think I might mainly do the straight. And just very lightly tap on that, and then stamp like so. There we go. And then I'm going to get my swirly bit and just ink that up as well. So we just put that down this edge here. It's stamped on my paper there, so that looks quite good. And then I think I'll do the same up on this side. There we go. So that's just, hopefully you can just see, there's the line all the way around the edge, just to give a bit of interest really, just to the edge of our card. But I'm going to take the backing off our foam tape here, and then pop that down just a little, maybe about there I think. And that just says happy birthday, and I think that just looks so pretty. And there is our finished card. A really simple, easy Cricut card, and I think these Make It Now cards are really easy and simple to do, but they give you the ability and the option to really customize it. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed making this Cricut Explore card with me, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!